Hi everybody. It's telling me I'm live, but I don't see any image yet, so let's just wait a minute to see what's going on. Okay, well, I think that I am now live, so a very, very warm welcome to you this evening here in Greece and morning time in America. And I just want to say I'm delighted to be with you. Thank you very, very much for joining me either now or later on. And I wanted to talk to you today about the nodes of the moon. I'm going to be doing a video with my dear friend and colleague, astrologer Pam Gregory. We're going to be doing a video all about the nodes of the moon, since she is a specialist in this area. But I felt I wanted to give you my perspective and my thinking as well. And then we're going to be answering a lot of your questions that you've posed. So, first thing to say is that the nodes of the moon, what are they? Yeah, well, they're 2 points where the moon's orbit crosses the ecliptic. So that's the technical explanation of what they are. But what they really indicate in a chart is soul lessons, personally and for the collective. So on May the 5th, I have to correct it, I did say May the 8th, I don't know where I came up with that, but May the 5th, these nodes will change sign. And they're changing into Gemini and Sagittarius. Very significant change. And they're going to be there until January of 2022. So it's just over 18-month period. And there's always a strong energy at the time of the change. When something changes over, that's when you notice it most, isn't it? When somebody's been wearing the same clothes for ages and suddenly they turn up in a new outfit, you notice, you go, ooh, something's changed. So that's the same with the planets, no different. So some of you sensitive ones, very likely many of you who are online with me, may already be feeling this change. So let me tell you a little bit about what we've been in for the last 18 months, and we're kind of just finishing up this year. We've been in Cancer and Capricorn. Could I ask you please kindly to like the video? The more that you would, the more of you that like the video, the more people can get notified that I'm live at the moment. It's somehow something to do with YouTube's way of organizing information. So I'd appreciate it if you like being live with me, if you would like the video. I think Lucy, my dear Lucy, who is my wonderful moderator, helping with the live chat here today, will be able to help guide you with how to do that. Thank you, Lucy. Oh gosh, many of you have, oh, you've doubled. Thank you very, very much. Teddy's just saying thank you. So we've got the energy, so we're overlapping between the energy of Cancer and Capricorn, which has to do very much with male and female energy, the patriarchy, work, corporations, banks, that's all this Capricorn energy, how our systems are structured in our world, And the Capricorn energy, of course, been very strong with Pluto and Saturn in Capricorn and Jupiter in Capricorn, and all of this Capricorn energy and the South Node in Capricorn having to do with our collective responsibility for what we've done on our planet. Yeah, and we're seeing that. We're seeing that with our systems and governments and controls and banks and all those kinds of things. And we're moving, supposed to be moving, towards the North Node, which is in Cancer, and we've got a super duper duper strong eclipse on the 21st of June, right in that midpoint of summer, 21st of June. We've got 0 degree Cancer eclipse. So that's a very significant time. Yeah, it's an opportunity for us really to look at the fact that we are one family, one home together. And for us really to be able to embrace that more and more and more. To nourish one another, how do we feed one another? How can we be kind to one another? So if you like, we've got this energy of Saturn ruling the Capricorn energy, which has to do with rules, regulations, restrictions, discipline, all those kinds of things. Thank you very much, Greta. Thank you. And it's got to do, and then the Cancer energy has to do with the more vulnerable side. Our vulnerability, our sensitivity, our emotionality, our feelings. So these are very different frequencies. And we are supposed to, with the North Node, move in the direction of the North Node, which has to do with being sensitive, with being soft, with being caring, with being loving. And now we have a very significant shift coming up. And I think many of you will feel it, no question about it. What's about Gemini and Sag? And of course, somewhere in your chart, you will have Gemini and Sagittarius. You'll have these two signs. You'll have them. They're mutable signs. So we're moving away from cardinal and we're moving to mutable. So you're looking for these two signs in your chart. Gemini and Sagittarius. And we've got the South Node in Gemini, the North Node in Gemini, the twins, which is what we're to move towards, and the South Node in Sagittarius, which is really what we are dealing with as a collective consciousness of certain consequences of what we've been doing. The challenge of these nodes this year, thank you very much, EJ, thank you, is about how we deal with truth, with fake, with lies, with different opinions, with different thoughts. We can already see that with this virus. It's quite unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, I don't know about you. First of all, we're hearing it's come from a bat. Then we hear that it's been engineered. Then we hear about 5G. Is it good? Is it not? Then we hear, there's all kinds of conflicting data, conflicting information that we're dealing with. And because these nodes are square to Neptune, there's every chance that we're going to be confused, not knowing. You know, do we wear a face mask? Do face masks help? Does it make any difference if we are very far apart? And there's a myriad of different opinions, aren't there? So, I think what this is about, because Gemini is ruled by Mercury rules Gemini, and Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So Sagittarius has a tendency to exaggerate, to go for drama, for a bit more. And how much of what we're dealing with is drama? And Gemini, how much of it is data? What are the facts? But we're dealing with something that is unknown. We've not supposedly had a virus like this before. So how can we handle it? And with the mutable signs, there's a chance that the virus will mutate. But also, we need to be adaptable. It's about finding your adaptability here. Stefan's asking me, you prefer the plane to bicycles, as you've got lots of business in Oriental countries. Well, Sagittarius, the South Node, things we have to correct as a collective and personally. Sagittarius would be more to do with far-flung countries, going very far. Thank you very much, David. Long plane journeys, you know, for me traveling from here to New Zealand, or any really kind of non-domestic flight. Getting up in a plane is very much more Sagittarian. Gemini rules bicycles. Getting on your bike, you might have short journeys, but we're really learning at this time, I feel, to be able to appreciate our immediate environment, our neighbours, the people around us, producing food locally, supporting one another locally. It's not to say that plane travel is behind us. I don't think it is, but I think that it's got to change hugely. And the concern I have is that the Sagittarius energy can be a bit cavalier, can be very overconfident. Oh yes, everything's fine, let's just open up again and we'll be all right. And just in my view, with the square to Neptune, I think with all this mutable energy, we've got to be extra careful, extra cautious. Rather than running out and saying, yeah, let's get back. I think we have to respect, thank you, Julie, great respect for the intelligence of this virus. Because anything that can stop the world, which effectively this has done, has got to have some kind of higher intelligence. And you can talk about your conspiracy theories, and there are millions of them out there. And there are all kind of videos that are being put up and taken down and put up and taken down. And who knows why necessarily. And it's just like, well, what do we need to change profoundly before this virus really goes away? And I think we've got to really watch that we don't jump that gun. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Lucy, for moderating. Somebody's asking how to donate on the live chat. Can you please show them again? Thank you so much to Lucy. Big shout out here for her. She's my moderator, and without her, it would be very difficult for me to manage everything that's going on. So, and I just want to thank so many of you who've joined me on Patreon, who donate here online, who make nice comments, who are supportive, who send me uplifting emails and music and paintings and all kinds of things. I just want you to know how very grateful I am. It means the world to me. Even just liking the video, it makes a difference. When you do something supportive, and of course you need to feel it. I'm not suggesting you do something just out of rote. Although eventually, you know, if you do practice something out of rote, it eventually morphs into you. I've noticed that with some prayers that I say every day. Thank you very much, Lupita. And some of the prayers I say in Hebrew, and I don't necessarily understand all the Hebrew. I can read Hebrew, but I don't understand all of it. I understand some of it. And some of them I know are joyful. So all of a sudden I only have to just start the psalm or the prayer, and suddenly I'm feeling joyful. So you can train yourself. You can. So I think we have to really respect a higher intelligence at play here. Yeah, there's something really big going on. And I think we need to be humble and cautious, and go cautiously and carefully. Cautiously with our earth, cautiously with our animals, cautiously with how we take care of ourselves and one another. Yeah? So I think it's really about making sure that we've got correct data. Thank you very much, Patra. Really making sure that are we basing our actions upon good data? And if we don't know, to say that we don't know. There's a lot of stigma in saying, I don't know. Yeah, a lot of people ask me deep questions. Sometimes I have no idea. And I have to write back and say, I'm really sorry. It's beyond my knowledge as an astrologer or as a channeler or whatever they're asking me. I have to be honest. And I think this is time for honesty. The Sagittarius energy. Sagittarius is about bringing out the truth. Bringing out what is really going on. I think we're going to have to look at religion. Sag rules religion, rules philosophy. I think we might have to revisit some of this during this nodal transition. And I think when I think about this energy of the twins of Gemini, the good twin, the bad twin, it's a bit of a trickster, is Gemini. Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, likes to play you along a little bit. Yeah, tickling you, playing with you. So I think we've got to bring out a more of playfulness, for sure. Now that please does not mean that we haven't got to take, once again, this balance with the twins seriously what's going on. And that not one of us is untouched by an opportunity for a rebirth and a transformation. Not one of us. Well, Gemini rules words, yes. And words can hurt. Words can heal. Can't they? When somebody speaks kindly to you, isn't that soothing? And we're dealing with these two sides of our nature, this Gemini energy. We've all got it. We've all got it. We've all got this energy of an animalistic side, can't get away from it, which is the side of us, thank you, YY, very much. The side that, you know, wants food, wants what we need for ourselves to survive. So there's this survival side, and this is where we need an ego. And there is also the spiritual side, where we want to give. We want to be part of something bigger, something more. So I think these are the energies that we're dealing with. And I think navigating what is real, what is not real. Are you finding that, guys? Can you make head or tails of what's going on? I'll wait for a moment to see how you feel about that. There's a little delay in, that's why I'm just waiting a moment or two here to see how you're feeling about this. Yeah? Do you understand what's going on? Yeah, struggling with the unknown. Yeah. Struggling greatly. I mean, really, we always live in the unknown. It's just that now things are even more uncertain. I think there's going to be, astrologically, I think there are going to be waves of being able to move forward and be freer, and then coming more, possibly under more lockdown, and then freedom and lockdown, and having to be really able to be flexible. Uranus in Taurus, yeah, people are saying, don't know. Somebody's, yeah, people are angry, feeling humble, beautiful. Up and down, yeah, I'll go with that. You like you're entering a padded cell, thank you, it's a wake-up call. Yeah, lost with everything, lost with yourself. That is the feeling that many of us are going through. Confused. So I think that we've got to honor and be honest if we don't know. Yeah, feeling unnerved, strange things coming up. Yeah. Feeling grateful, yes. Yes, very deeply grateful, yes. So, yeah, the area is clean with no pollution of two minds. Yeah, it's these two energies. We need to get back and produce something. But look at everything that has been exaggerated. Thank you, Raina, very, very much. Let's look at the exaggeration and the what have we overdone? You see, the South Node is showing us what have we overdone. So personally, what have we been overdoing? Might have been overeating, might have been overworking, might have been over dramatizing. Yeah, where in your life have you been overdoing things? And where have we been overdoing and overconfident and not looking out in the collective? I think we've got to really think about that, yeah? It's like, where do we know and where do we not know? So I can say, as far as I can see, I've been very wasteful. I can certainly say I've been overdoing, you know, just using too many things. So it's a reevaluation of what's important. And we're going to have to learn this flexibility. So the more that you can be flexible in your physical body, the more you can be flexible in your mind, the more you can allow for different perspectives. I think the easier this is going to be. Is this easy to navigate? No, I wouldn't want to be a government that has to make these decisions. We're looking at the economy, which has to be restarted. Yeah, we've got to get something going, but at what risk? At what balance? Again, Gemini, the twins. So, we've got to be inventive. Gemini is super inventive, clever with words. We've got Boris Johnson and Donald Trump, both of them Geminis. And Donald Trump has got the moon in Sag as well. So he's going to be really affected by these eclipses coming up in this next 18-month period. More about that in a different video. But I will cover it. So if we look, the whole system has been unsustainable. Unsustainable money system. And now, as I keep promising that I will do something on the financial, but I'm getting that together. I will be doing a money video. Promise, all right? But what I can say now is that what the central banks are doing, printing money, I'm shocked, and it's just got no value at all. They're printing money out of thin air. How would you like to just go and print 3 trillion? Yeah? They're printing money. So what happens when you print a lot of money? When there's no value behind the money? There's no value to it. Nobody's earned anything. Nobody's done it. There's no product. There's no service. There's no value behind the money at all. It's just being printed out of thin air. It's devaluing the currency. It's devaluing what we have. And sooner or later, I've got to say, it's going to go, it's not looking good. Yeah, we've got to come up with some new solutions. I love that, Diane. You want to lighten your material load. Yes, and I think this very much, this mutability is sorting out what do you really need and what can you release and let go of? What can you allow to dissolve? And I think there's some shocks and bumps along the way, and there's going to be misinformation and miscommunications more than ever. So anticipate that, but really be prepared to do your due diligence as to what's true. What's really true, not what you believe necessarily. Because when you believe something, it means that you don't necessarily know it. But you can know something. What do you really know for sure? I always smile when I hear Oprah ask that in her interviews, often at the end. What is it you really know for sure? Okay, so what do you really know for sure? That's a question. Yeah, Drew, we're heading for a big depression if we don't get creative. Yeah, really, really got to get creative here. And we, how can I say, we've got to deal with consequences of what we've got in motion. So there's a rush to get the aeroplanes going, rush to get the travel industry going. And I have to say, I had a shock only yesterday. Emotions are flying. I want you to know that I'm going through this with you. This isn't just me commentating and saying, I'm very much in the soup with you guys. So next week on Monday, the 4th of May, I think whatever the 4th is, I think it's Monday, Greece is beginning to relax its restrictions. Hairdressers and various things are opening up, and Greeks will be able to travel without having to SMS the government or provide a paper, carry your passport with you at all times. So things are easing. And I was astonished when my friend said to me last night, just to let you know, on the 5th of May, somebody's booked the Airbnb room right next to me where I am here for a week or longer. And they're coming with a dog. Just my luck, another dog. I love dogs, but not if they bark at night. And they've paid the deposit and they want to come. Wow. I mean, that was it was like, gosh, so soon, so quickly. So I had to make a decision, and I'm a Libra. Somebody's asking my birthday. I'm a Libra sun, and making decisions is not always the easiest. I've learned I'm better than I was. And I felt like the gun was at my head, yeah, what to do, because there's also a risk. Don't know where these people have been. Don't know whether they might be carrying the virus. I want to be able to continue doing these videos with you. I don't know how safe my internet would be with somebody right in, the next wall to me. We're not talking, any kind of distance at all, right on top of me. So I thought, okay, I'll have to just bite that bullet, and I've rented that room now. Obviously a lot, not for a whole lot of money, but still it was a big consideration. I didn't want to take on something else, but I'll do my painting in there and bring my piano, and I'll be able to do some more creative things with you. But it was a shock, like a day after an Airbnb is suddenly working, and I'm not sure. So expect shocks to your system, expect things to be suddenly changing, and try to be adaptable. I noticed myself go into this, a bit of a victim mode for a while. Didn't like that. But okay, I got over feeling a bit sorry for myself. Woe is me stuff. And then okay. Then I made a decision. And once you make a decision, of course, although it's uncomfortable sometimes, okay, I'm at peace with it, I'm at rest with it. So I think we're going to have to learn how to think better for ourselves. Gemini is the thinking mind, the logical mind, pulling together information and really saying, right, where's the proof for this? Where's the proof for that? Are we going to get a vaccine? Will the vaccine work? Yeah. All these questions, and millions of questions. And the key with Gemini is to ask the right questions. Okay. Or to ask good questions. That's what makes a good host. That's what makes somebody really incisive. Larry King, asking really good questions, bringing things out of somebody. So what are the questions we need to ask? So thinking for ourselves. I've got a great quote here from Thomas Edison, one of the greatest inventors of all time, I would say. He says this: 5% think, 10% think they think, and 85% would rather die than think. So, I think we need to think about that. 85% people really don't want to think for themselves. I know I was certainly one of them and still am sometimes. It's like, oh, let somebody else do that for me. No, each one of us with that node in Gemini, North Node, what we're moving towards. Thank you very, very much, Norma. What we're moving towards is thinking and coming up with our own ideas, our own thoughts. Now, words, language. I think we've got to learn how to use language. He's developing as a chip. I don't know. Again, I've got so many I don't knows. I wish I was able to say, hey, yeah, I'm sure. I can tell you what the symbolism of the astrology is, how to get round things rather than bumping into them head on. The fixed signs tend to go head on. Yeah, bull. These guys, you know, Gemini will find a way around things. Yeah. Opinion is the lowest form of thinking. Thank you. Shift now. Thank you. Learn how to think from zero. So really begin to think now. Is Sweden didn't put down lockdowns. Is Sweden doing better? Is it not? Are the statistics we're being given real? Are they not? What's fake? What's not? Thank you for liking the video, guys. It really, really helps. Lucy, you're doing a Trojan job here. Thank you for helping me as my moderator today. So yes, every thought you think is creating your future. Thank you, Frank. So we've got to work with our thinking, our speaking, our communications, our writing, all of it. And it's trainable. Yeah, you can train yourself. I've trained myself to be extremely grateful. Because by nature, I think we have a tendency to take things for granted. But I've trained myself now every day giving gratitude. Paolo, thank you, thank you, thank you. Many, many times a day. Really just focusing on, wow, looking at all the things that I got. I got a bit stuck today. I keep miscommunicating. That's another thing with all this Gemini energy and the squares. I keep getting the wrong vegetables. I keep going out and I think I'm going to get a cabbage. And then I find I've got beetroots. I don't know. I just don't know how that happens. So now what I do is I take along a leaf or a sample of what it is that I want. And I show it to the lady at the farm. and now she knows. Because there's so many different horta in Greece. Horta are like these vegetables, leafy things. And there's different names for them all. And there's one or two that I particularly like. So now I have to take the leaves. Now she knows. So it's about clarifying what you mean. It's about willing to take the time to write or speak as clearly as you can. Now, Gemini is easily distractible. It's got the quick mind, it's fast, it wants to learn. So I think this is going to be a wonderful time for a great shift in our educational system, for sure. Huge way, different way that we're going to deliver education. Instead of it being factory education where one size fits all, I think more of the Montessori and the different types of, should we say, outliers and homeschooling and different ways of delivering more unique education suited to the needs of the child, rather than we're all one unit and we've all got to learn this specific thing that a teacher is teaching us out of a book. I think it's got to get more imaginative, more creative, more hands-on. Gemini's is hands. So I think that we are working much more with the hands at this time, the magic of our hands. Yeah? The magic things that we can do with our hands, and feeling the energy in your hands. The hands is the place where I think it's easiest to feel your aliveness, your life. Yeah, I think you can just really, you really just feel it. So really appreciate your hands and think of things that you can do with your hands. So, I think it's time to reevaluate priorities. I notice now on Amazon if you order anything on Amazon, it says, well, we are only shipping out the essentials. Interesting. Things have become certain essentials now, over and above things that are non-essentials. So it's time to look at what is essential to you now. What are the essentials in our world? What must we have? And what are just the things that we might like to have, but that we don't need to have, that are damaging our world, that are damaging the balance, the equilibrium? So I think these are questions here. I'm asking a lot of questions. I'm hoping you're going to do some thinking. I'm doing a lot of thinking. God, yeah, it's hard work in there, but it's really important. Somebody's saying here, tapping is good to stop anxiety. It's about thinking about constructive things. Making a decision that you're going to think about, hey, I'm on this planet for a reason right now. I'm here to do something, to think, to contribute my unique thinking. Hey, things are happening very, very quickly. I think the speed of things goes even faster when we go into these mutable signs, right? They're really fast. And it means things can go one direction all of a sudden, and all of a sudden another direction. Thank you very, very much, Julia. Thank you. So we have to be also that adaptable. And I don't find that terribly easy, I've got to be honest. And I always say to people, give me 24 hours, please. Let me just sleep on it. That's what I had to do with the decision about this other room. Let me sleep on it, guys. I didn't sleep much. I did a lot of thinking, and I did my consequences list. I always find that if I've got decisions to make, because you might find with this Gemini energy, you've got these decisions to make. I do my consequences list. What's the consequence if I do this? Or what are the probable consequences if I do that? And I really work with that tool. It really helps me. So I just want to really imbibe you at the moment. Yeah, I'm so enjoying being in your presence, the privilege of being with you, the privilege of having internet, the connections that we have. Thank you for liking the video. Many of you already have. Thank you, Lucy. She's telling you and helping me here. Thank you. Are you the flowers in my paintings? Yes, you are. You're the stars, the shining stars in my paintings. Thank you. So yeah, what are you doing? Somebody's learning Korean cooking. Beautiful. What are the things you're learning? My moon is in Taurus, somebody's asking here. So I'm getting shaken up very much by this Uranus energy. So think now about what you need to think about. I think we've got to think about what's happening with our world on all levels. What do we want to create in our world? What do we need to clean up? What are the consequences of the things that we've been doing? And how can we move forward together? Right? There is got to be this community. That is my dream. I'm putting this out. I'm going to say what my dream is. My dream is to create a community of us, physically as well as what we've got online. I love what we've got online. I'm so grateful for you as my community, my family. And I'd also like to have a family or families of us around the world, like lighthouses, where we can have our own space and at the same time have shared areas, shared things with yoga, with healing, with great food, with locally really using our skills together and then lighting one another up, almost like satellites of communities. So that's my dream. I've not given up on that dream. I don't know where it necessarily it will be. Maybe it will be here in Greece. I don't know. Who knows how much we're going to be able to travel? I don't know that either. But thank goodness we can be here today together. So I'm grateful. I'd like to take a couple of questions. So are there any questions? I'll wait a couple of moments here. We need to stop being selfish. Oh my goodness, yes, thank you. Yeah. So yeah, more of this feeling of family. And June the 21st is such a big family day. So I'm hoping I will be transmitting to you then, but hopefully more videos in between. At least I'm planning them. I'll be doing collaborative video with Pam Gregory, probably quite a few there, since many of you like that. If there's anyone else you think that you'd like me to collaborate with, please let me know. If there are any other subjects you would like me to cover, please let me know. You want to listen to messages from the star beings, the Pleiadians? Yes, I'm certainly bring those, our lovely Pleiadians in again. So I think really this is a time of an immense awakening, and that we've got to be very vigilant and rather err, in my view, on the side of caution than on the side of cavalier and bravado, and we're okay and we can do it. Let's just be cautious. Yeah? You don't know. It's a bit like an animal. When an animal has been abused and you tame it, there's still a kind of level of uncertainty for a while. And sometimes that animal can still bite you if you're not careful. So let's not get bitten here. Let's respect and go slowly. Saturn goes back into Capricorn for how long? Until December. How do you contact the Pleiadians? Well, you ask for them to come in. Yeah, you talk to them. Thank you, Eliana. Thank you. To use music as a vehicle to connect the molecules. I think music is going to be really powerful at this time. Sound healing, you musicians out there, you speakers, the voice, the singing voice, the toning, the chanting, the playing. The impact of not smiling at people in the street because of face masks. That's a great question. What about the ego? What a great question. Yeah, maybe that'll get us to be more real. Yeah, wow. So, how do you know it's safe to talk to them? Well, you'll get a feeling if you're going to talk to the extraterrestrials or anything like that. You get just a warm feeling is all I can say. If something doesn't feel good, it's not the Pleiadians. In my experience, I can only talk from my limited viewpoint. So yeah, musicians, entertainers, beauticians, beauty, what we do with beauty, how we bring beauty to our world, and how we look at the more details, the smaller things. Yeah, Gemini has everything to do with what it can reach with its hands, or how far it can get on a bicycle. Yeah, likes to visit the neighbours and visit here and do a bit of this and a bit of that, and yeah, very much that kind of an energy. So yeah, we are creating community. And thank you, Lucy, for really helping me to create the community here online. I have right now only the Pleiadians. I have other people who tell me there are other beings around me, but the ones that I am absolutely sure about are the Pleiadians, right? Only because they came through to me really, really clearly. You can read about my story on my website, yourastrologysigns.com. Lucy, you could post that, please. Yes, it's time to bring feminine energy. Absolutely. Gentler energy. Kind energy. The archetype of feminine energy. Yeah? Because there are certain other feminine energies that are not necessarily so kind. Yeah? There's the bitch, for example. Yeah? There are other energies. But the nurturing, kind, loving, caring, opening our arms to being a world family. Let us not discriminate, just as this virus seems not to be discriminating. So, from Teddy, from Cabbage, it's dripping on me, and from my heart, I'm saying prayers for those of you who are suffering, or for those who have family, or loved ones who are suffering right now. I think we have to be able to feel as much as we can feel. And I just want to thank you for being part of my family. I feel you with me all the time. I'm always thinking of you. I'm thinking about how can I give you something else? What can I give you to empower you, to help you, to hold your hand? Hold each other's hands, Gemini, holding one another's hands. I'm not sure how we do that if we've got to keep doing social distancing, but we can still do it energetically. Yeah, there's an energy of the hands. Yeah, you don't have to put hands on healing. You can do hands from a distance and still do healing from a very long way away. So much, much, much love to you. Thank you for being with me. And I look forward to hearing any comments you've got, any feedback, anything else that you'd like to share with me. I'm really open. This is our community, and I'd like us to share together.